The recent U.S. military strike against narco-terrorists in international waters has once again brought to light the complex intersection of drug trafficking and terrorism on a global scale. According to a report by MSN News, U.S. military forces targeted a drug trafficking vessel in the Eastern Pacific Ocean, resulting in the seizure of over $200 million worth of cocaine and the apprehension of several suspected narco-terrorists. While this strike may seem like a decisive blow against criminal organizations that profit from drug trafficking, the effectiveness of such military operations in combating the illicit drug trade and terrorism is a subject of ongoing debate. On one hand, military interventions like the one carried out by the U.S. can disrupt the operations of drug trafficking networks and disrupt the flow of illicit drugs into the country. The seizure of large quantities of cocaine in this instance demonstrates the potential impact of such strikes in stemming the supply of drugs to the market. Additionally, targeting narco-terrorists can also disrupt their financial networks and limit their ability to fund terrorist activities, potentially reducing the threat they pose to national security. By targeting the intersection of drug trafficking and terrorism, military strikes can potentially weaken the operational capabilities of these criminal organizations. However, there are also potential consequences and ethical implications to consider when it comes to military interventions against narco-terrorists. One concern is the potential for civilian casualties or unintended harm to non-combatants in operations targeting drug trafficking vessels. These operations can also lead to retaliatory attacks or escalations of violence by criminal organizations, further destabilizing the region. Furthermore, the long-term effectiveness of military strikes in combating drug trafficking and terrorism is also subject to scrutiny. Critics argue that these operations may only provide a temporary disruption to criminal organizations, as they are often quick to adapt and find new ways to evade law enforcement efforts. Without addressing the root causes of drug trafficking and terrorism, such as poverty, corruption, and lack of governance, military interventions may not be sustainable in the long run. In light of these concerns, it is important to consider alternative strategies and solutions to address the complex nexus of drug trafficking and terrorism. This may include enhancing international cooperation and coordination in combating transnational criminal networks, investing in community-based prevention and rehabilitation programs, and addressing the underlying socioeconomic factors that contribute to the growth of illicit drug markets. In conclusion, while military strikes against narco-terrorists may yield short-term gains in disrupting criminal activities, it is essential to carefully consider the potential consequences and ethical implications of such actions. Addressing the root causes of drug trafficking and terrorism through a comprehensive and multifaceted approach is essential in achieving sustainable and effective solutions to these complex challenges.